Wow. That is quite amazing. If you've seen a bigger bodge in Airsoft, let me know. Here we have a 22mm socket. Welcome back to AATV. I'm your host Tom Anvil Hibberd, and today we're going to talk all about a very kind gift I've got from a subscriber. So you may recall a couple of episodes ago in my State of the Channel I talked about this. Can you review an HPA gun? No. I'm just not into hoses, man. So if anyone wants to provide me or sponsor the show with an HPA rig, we can bench rest and fire and use to test barrels and hops, BBs, all that sort of stuff. That could be quite cool. If you're interested, get in touch. And lo and behold, one of you lovely viewers got in touch and said they had a bit of a fixer-upper HPA DMR that they'd be willing to gift to the channel for me to use on the range if I can do it up. And here it is. So this is a VFC Umerex G28 DMR with a Mancraft HPA unit inside. Uses no batteries whatsoever. Just has a little pneumatic valve which opens and closes on the trigger press. Again, fantastic for DMR use. So I'm going to be a little bit critical of this build. It's nothing to do with the owner that sent it to me. He got it from someone else, he got it from someone else, he got it from the tech. Anyone jumping on the comments and having a go at that chap, I'm going to be deleting them straight away. We're very appreciative of the gift that we've got here. And though you're not really supposed to look a gift horse in the mouth, we're going to have to do that in order to use it safely in the UK. So, a few things. As you can see, the grip is hanging off the lower receiver. There's a few reasons for that, and we'll go into them when we disassemble this in the workshop. This is a replacement grip from I believe it's a PSG1. It's not got the original grip on, and they've had to do some alterations in order to do that, in combination with some of the vagaries of a proprietary G28 gearbox. They couldn't mount the release valve in the normal way for this Mancraft HPA unit, so there had to be some compromises. I'm not sure they've implemented it very well, whoever did the original work. They attempted to fill the gap between the grip and the lower receiver with some beige coloured bathroom grout, which we've taken most off. Maybe not the best solution. The back of the gearbox, because the HPA hose comes out of where the gearbox was originally held in the AEG version, because this is an AEG conversion with a grub screw through the back of the receiver plate. We've now got the air pipe, forgive me, I don't really know the terms. There's now a 22mm socket, which is then inside the buffer. Quite an amazing solution. Not sure something I would do, but there you go. There's also, most worryingly, for a UK-based airsoft player, there's no mechanical safety on this. I'm not sure if that's normal in HPA or not. This has no mechanical safety, so in order to safe the gun you have to disconnect the airline. I can't take a gun onto a range or an airsoft field without a mechanical safety, so we're going to have to fix that. We're going to have to put a safety back onto the gearbox. It was obviously taken off at some point as part of this conversion process. Got a tank. Now I'm going to probably use the wrong terms for you HPA users, and I'm very happy to be corrected and helped in the comments. I would really appreciate that. So we have a 3000 psi tank. Now I was looking around at some of the stuff, information surrounding HPA tanks, and it does say they need to be hydro tested for pressure every 5 years or so. This was born in 2015, so June 2015, and I can't see a hydro test mark on it. So, and I was talking to the person that sent it to me, and they said they haven't had it hydro tested. So if you let me know in the comments, is it easier to get it hydro tested, or should I just get a new tank for this? Is that simpler, cheaper, easier? I don't know. Got the regulator, step it down to airsoft pressures. This one is a ballistic HPR 800C. Again, I don't know if this is a good regulator or not. Let me know if you know. Even more airline, and we've got a couple of spare magazines as well. So this is going to be a bit of a project to get this up and running, get it suitable for range testing and for playing with in the UK. Fundamentally, we're going to use this for range testing, BBs, hop units, barrels, and the like. Because we've got an HPA regulator, we can really finely tune the muzzle energy down to where we want it. So for instance, in our previous hop unit tests of standard hop versus R hop versus flat hop, the muzzle energy has decreased as we've gone down the hop tiers, and that's obviously affected the results. What we can do with this one is we can get the hop set and the power set to maybe one joule each time and shoot and get a really consistent response. First things first, let's get the magazine off. Retaining bolt was sheared off at some point. Either punch this out and put a new bolt through it or find another mount. Layers of fabric someone wrapped around this scope. So that is not going to help the accuracy. So unlike most HPA units I've seen, the hose comes out the back here. So let's take the upper off and have a look at the lower. Interesting little bit of metal here. Get the stock off and get a closer look. What do I know? But this is one of the issues. Because of the conversion that's been done, the gearbox is no longer secure in the lower. You're going to get very inconsistent shots realistically if this gearbox, even when the upper's on, it's sort of held down, but not good. Quite a lot of modifications done to the gearbox to get it to fit. So let's have a better look at this and see where we are. So there is no manual safety on this. The trigger doesn't have a return spring. So this isn't the original grip. And depending on what's going on in here, we may need to 3D print an adapter bolted onto this metal strap. Moving the grip, holding the grip, also moves, as you can see, moves the gearbox. And again, this wasn't done by the owner that sent it to me, this was done by the person that had it before them, or the tech that they used. That is a 22mm socket, which just happens to fit in the buffer tube. It really confused me when I first got this. I was like, oh, what's AM Pro? And I googled it, and I came up with a tool company. I was like, what? Let's get this bolt off, and we can get into here. Wow. That is quite amazing. If you've seen a bigger bodge in Airsoft, let me know, because that is phenomenal. So that was literally just wedged in, and that is the valve itself there. Not an HPA technician, but that looks like a very compromised run for the airline there. I'll drill a big hole through the lower receiver here to take this release valve, or try and reposition this valve up to where it should be inside in the gearbox here. Problem is, and then here, oh dear, cut away the lower gearbox shell here in order to fit this in, which means there'd be nowhere to attach a proper grip. Got absolutely no idea what they were thinking. So what we may have to do is 3D print a housing. So rather than, so basically make a gearbox shell. So it's going to be a bigger project than we thought, because this is the biggest bodge I have ever seen. Well, let's carry on, because this is hilarious. So I wasn't joking. Here we have a 22mm socket that is retaining the gearbox shell. You can see the damage that's been done to this. It's all been cut away. Completely mangled. Got a free socket. And now I guess we can get the gearbox out. Quite glad I didn't shoot it. Lots of nicks in this bit of airline. If you've seen a worse bit of Airsoft teching, let me know. This is absolutely unbelievable. What I can do is use this as a set of reference dimensions to build a new gearbox from. Prototype on my 3D printer and then get one printed up in nylon is not... So the trigger was just wedged in. A not very straight hole, not very round hole drilled here to take the valve. I mean, inventive, but appalling all at the same time. So after that internal teardown, you just come out into the AATV garden and have a nice refreshing beer. Very nice Heathen by Northern Monk. Just to relax and calm down a bit. So what we're going to do? Well, we don't really know. A couple of options. We can probably pick up the Retro Arms G28 specific gearbox for this and then try and modify that to fit the HPA unit. Might be able to get a different HPA unit instead of the Mancraft one we have been using, or that was delivered with the gun. What we're probably going to do is one of two options. Call it quits, might just be too much work. Or, second option, is build not a gearbox, but a housing for the HPA unit in CAD, prototype it on a 3D printer, and then probably get it printed in nylon by an outside design house. We'll see. So I'm going to have a think about what I want to do over the next month or two, working out how much commitment that's going to be and how much money it's going to cost us in the end. Again, it's no reflection on the gentleman that donated the gun. He did say it needed a bit of work, and it definitely needs a bit of work. Whoever the tech was, or the person was that did the conversion in the first place, well, they should be thoroughly ashamed, because this was shocking. Probably the worst tech job I've ever seen. Certainly in person, if not on the internet as well. So thanks for watching AATV. Been your host Tom Anvil Hibberd, looking at my HPA-ish G28. If you want to help support the show, you can join us on Patreon and subscribe for a regular payment to keep the show as independent as possible. You can also tip us just the once or buy me a coffee. You can use our Amazon affiliate link, or you can buy one of our fantastic t-shirts. Most importantly, subscribe, share, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.